And sets another day. Billions will kneel and pray. Anything to wait, escape from the world so cold and gray.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Bones and Tubs.
Back again.
Back again for another episode in your life so that we can be here and you can be with us. This week we have not one, but zwei special guests on this week's show.
It's all white people. There's no diversity in here. I'm triggered.
No, actually, not only that, it's white men. White cisgendered men.
Fuck.
We have created you know what? With this many white men in a room, we can form a government.
We need fidget spinners.
I'm pretty sure that this is the definition of clan.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But, so we have with us our helper in podcast making, who's been here before, Dr. Doug Herty.
Hello, everyone.
And our first-time guest, he's given us many topics in the past, many juicy, delicious topics.
Yeah.
We have Aaron the Red himself.
Well, what's going on, guys?
What's up?
Welcome to our den of iniquity.
But, so we got a shitload of topics this week. I mean, a shitload. So I don't even know, does anybody want to get anything... any current events before we get started on this today?
I was watching the news on the way over here because I'm just waiting for us to attack North Korea.
Yeah.
I want to be like, breaking news! But it didn't happen yet.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can mention is the doctor sent me this morning, and I had heard it like a couple days ago, too. But, okay, so the alt-right continues to take things and then try to make them racist so that they bait the left into thinking they're actually racist. And the newest thing is that hot new fad, fidget spinners.
Yeah.
They're saying
racist now?
they're saying they're saying they're about
racist.
white supremacy. Like, I'm not even joking on this one. This fucking hard left dude wrote a goddamn, like, they said a 2,000 word fucking essay on how fidget spinners are racist.
Well, I guess I had to write about something.
For fuck's sake, but you get to write about
Dude,
anything else except
ridiculous.
fidget spinner, for fuck's sake.
Everything. I love how they're
Holy
baiting
shit.
them. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a Batman one.
They are, you would call them masturbators, really.
Yeah, you would.
They're really good.
They are master baiters.
They're great at what they do.
Yeah. But I'd say that's the only thing I could think of here recently that tickled my fancy. Everything else is kind of old news at this point.
Same old, same old.
Yeah, I mean, nothing more to go off of.
I have one real quick thing that I noticed. You know how Trump bombed Syria, right?
Yeah.
Some would say bombed the government of Syria.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an impeachable offense, and I wonder if that was like the bait that he took, and now he's got to be their fucking slut puppet. Or they'll just hold that impeachment charges over his head if he doesn't dance for them. Just thought about that when I was naked under the water earlier today.
See, that's the thing, though. Does he really care that much?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Trump is kind of like the Joker. I mean, you can't really blame. I mean, he's just waiting for it to happen. I think that's what it is. I think he's
It's going to be huge.
huge. But yeah, so if we don't have anything else, I'd say we just dive deep in these topics because a lot of these are kind of juicy
Let's
too.
do it. Balls deep.
So we're going to start with a topic that Dr. Doug Herty himself sent to us a while ago, but we were waiting for the right time to talk about it. Well, while he was here, and also to get ourselves prepared for it. Just ahead of this topic, some of you out there might get triggered, but we're only coming with the facts on this one, right?
Yeah, this is all
maybe a small amount of conjecture, but mostly facts.
I'm sure somebody swayed the facts a little bit, but I mean, who knows?
This is just the information I got about it was from like some sort of like government agency.
I found something on BBC about it. I mean,
okay, so there was another article from the New York Times about it too.
Yeah.
So this isn't a conspiracy theory. There's legitimate cause for this topic.
I even wrote down in crayon on my notepad that I got all of my sources were government websites and academic sources.
Yeah, so none of this, what you're about to hear on the show is not bullshit. This isn't coming from somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about. But, okay, on to the topic. The topic today came from us, like I said, from Dr. Doug Herty, and he said Middle Eastern inbreeding, fact, fiction, or faction.
I'm going to rip into it real quick.
Okay.
Apparently, it's only a fact in Yemen, Jordan, Pakistan, Syria, Iraq, Egypt, Sudan, the Kabash tribe, and Kurdistan, and pretty much every other Middle Eastern country.
Okay.
okay.
So just there. So like,
Yeah,
if you,
only in Middle Eastern
if
countries.
you took a world map and drew a circle around like a specific region, that's all really like we're honed in on.
It's not racist because it's only in Middle Eastern countries.
Now,
and
I've always pondered that like there is inbreeding in other factions, but I think it's about geological reasoning. Like, I said that English people tend towards inbreeding simply because they live on an island.
Royalty.
They all have fucked up teeth.
right.
And the same thing goes for Japanese people as well. But we're not talking about them today.
Is that why their eyes look so small?
You almost got me.
I might read
Okay. but no, so, apparently it's been coming up that there is a shitload of inbreeding going on in the Middle East over the course of what? Like 50 years? Maybe longer? Like it's gotten worse in the last...
It's gotten worse from what I've read, but like it's always been a thing somewhat. But from what I've read, it's like continuing to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the lowest in these countries that they surveyed. It was only the bottom number was 20%, and I mean at worst it was only just above 70%. So only like 7 out of 10 of them are inbred.
Well, what I initially read was an article on the BBC where it claims that 55% of the Pakistani population in the UK was married to their first cousin.
I did find a propaganda piece where they claimed it was all second cousin.
Because
that makes it better.
Right.
But really, I mean, I don't even understand what the big deal is because you could marry your cousin or your mom. I mean, and the only thing you have to worry about is affecting the child's sanity, health, or intellect, really. I mean,
So
not
let's
a big
put some
deal.
more statistics down that I found.
statistician.
Then maybe we can talk about like the implications of inbreeding.
Okay, all right.
So I found this list here. 70% of Pakistanis are inbred. 67% of Saudi Arabians are inbred. 64% of those living in Jordan and Kuwait are inbred. 63% of Sudanese are inbred. 60% of Iraqis are inbred. 54% of Muslims in the United Arab Emirates and Qatar are inbred. 25 to 30% in Turkey are inbred. And here's the statistic from England again. 55% of Pakistani immigrants are married to their first cousin. And in Denmark, the number of Pakistani immigrants that are inbred is around 40%.
Neat. That's fine. Apparently, incest is best as far as the Middle East is concerned. Do you think that has anything to do with the fact they're stuck like 1,400 years in the past?
I think that from what I read, like they used to not be about that life.
Oh.
But as I guess the push for stronger Sharia law started coming into play, they started pushing for more inbreds. I guess they keep it in the family, maybe,
I see.
or keep their religious values true.
So needless to say, they took no...
You know, if you go
They
outside
took no information from European
royalty,
aristocracy,
yeah.
right? They just...
Right.
They didn't take that into account, how that works out for
I guess
them.
they're trying to keep their bloodline pure.
Is that the same type of Sharia law that they want to pass in the United States? Or is that like different?
I mean, Sharia law is Sharia law. I mean,
Oh, I thought maybe that was different.
no.
I thought
it
maybe-
depends on which side you're looking at. I guess.
I saw a video about a feminist talking about Sharia law in the United States and how we needed it. I thought maybe it was different
I
here.
don't think she would like it in real life.
Well, you can't assume her gender. It's 2017.
I don't assume that they would like it in real life.
Thank you. God,
Okay.
I was right on top of that trigger.
Yeah, just checking on it.
So close.
So, basically, because of their... I'm not saying religion. Well, I guess it is religious practices and their government practices. They have fallen into a deep, deep hole of inbreeding.
Since you were over there, I should ask if we were to fund a study on Kickstarter for, like, if we went to all these countries and checked not for inbreeding but for goat breeding among men, what do you think, percentage-wise?
35 to 40%.
And that's a legitimate number?
I
Now-
just kind of pulled it out of my ass.
You are a bit of a
Yeah.
scientist.
We
so-
talked about this on another episode concerning inbreeding because I think we talked about the Amish and how they refuse genetic testing because there's speculation that there's a lot of inbreeding going on amongst the Amish as well.
Come on.
They're
I
a
can see
closed
that.
they're a closed religious sect. They keep to themselves. They like their own laws and their own things. So draw your own comparisons there.
I'm fine with
Yeah,
it.
but what happens when you start inbreeding?
People get fucked up.
Oh, look,
Well, obviously, there's like genetic problems that happen. Like, you know, kids come out with like 2 legs and
Or look at
like one arm.
Habsburg's jaw.
I guess you're supposed to
or-
have 2 legs.
it only raises the stillbirth rate by like 50% too.
But I read something about lowering IQ levels and increase in violence.
Huh. I read something about the violence gene, but that's a different show entirely.
So I read that like that's why they are all like super crazy about their religion,
Fanatics.
and they're like fanatics about like beating people because they don't want to stay in it because like their IQ levels over time have started to lower.
You're not gonna leave us.
There's some statistic that like the average IQ for a Muslim is 81.
Yeah,
I don't know how true that is,
somewhere around Kroger Bagger level.
but they're blaming that.
Okay.
They're blaming that on inbred, on inbreeding.
Okay, so they're saying their IQs are lower because of inbreeding.
Right. And then when you have a lower IQ, I guess then you want to fight about everything because,
Want to fight about it?
Right.
But yeah, so
Who knows, though?
I was talking to an animate, let's just say a very strong man whose muscles are strong like coal.
mhm.
And we were talking about this topic and it coming up, and he was like, makes sense, I was over there. There's a whole lot of, people laying their heads in other men's laps, you know what I mean?
Hey, man, they're not gay.
Yeah.
They told me that, I worked with this guy on base. He was a Muslim, obviously. He was some foreman. Worked for some construction company. I might have talked about this before. He said,
It's one of my favorite stories.
we were like sitting around talking, bullshitting while we were supposed to be watching him working. And he would talk to us about things he used to do. And he's like, oh no, back in the day when I was younger, we would look at porn, fuck gays. like what? Fuck gays?
Yes!
Oh, God.
I'm not gay, the gays are.
Right, exactly.
But yeah.
Thank God for him.
Oh my goodness.
That was a good topic.
Yeah, it was a good topic. Thanks, Dr. Doug, for that topic. Anybody want to go out there and look for the research themselves? Like I said, there's lots of it on official sites. They got seals and all sorts of shit and acronym names and
.govs,
all that shit.
what have you. Tax-free status.
Yeah. But
Peer-reviewed journals.
You know,
You want to get serious about it?
racist.
next topic, it comes from St. Catherine, of course, Our Lady. The candle is lit.
Thank God.
She got inspired by our Topics Dragnet this week. I posted a picture of our pet octopus, Selena, attacking a man who wouldn't give us topics.
Yeah.
And so she asked, do you believe in the Loch Ness Monster? Why do you think the legend persists? And she also had a side note. What about the mysterious sea creature that washed ashore a few days ago? Thoughts? Is the uprising of the gigantic sea monsters inevitable?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that's why we hawked Kaiju Mutual that one time on the show. They gave us money to do it.
Right.
You got to get that Kaiju insurance.
If you don't, it's your own fault.
Tired of that Fukushima radiation.
Right.
They're like, you guys,
Those Jap cats don't watch their own monster movies. That's exactly how Godzilla happened. When I read that, I stuck on Loch Ness, and it sent me into a seizure. And it reminded me of a time when I watched a documentary about...
Please tell me you're talking about, what's his name?
Aleister Crowley?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it sent me into a fucking seizure where I could only live the life of Aleister Crowley over and over again until I broke out of it. In 1899, he bought a property called the Boleskine House, or Boleskine Manor. Boleskine is, I assume, another language for foreskin, but that's another story. He bought this house because it mirrored the requirements of this magic ritual that he was trying to perform, that he called the sacred magic of Abramelin the Mage, and the purpose was to basically summon and bitch up his guardian angel. And he wrote in there that the only thing he had to do was 6 months of preparation, so it's not, it's kind of a big deal.
No.
Well, not really.
No. He had to maintain celibacy, which was hard for him because he had a proclivity to tie his wife up in the closet upside
Do as thou
down.
wilt.
Because Aleister Crowley
Right.
today was a sex fiend.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way around
He was
it.
what they call super lit. AF. He also abstained from alcohol, which is good. You got to keep your mind right.
Right, of course.
he opened up a bunch of portals in this house and brought in river sand. Nothing good ever comes from using river sand.
Yeah.
And he brought forth 12 kings and dukes of hell. And then in the middle of this, after he opened all these portals and brought all these things through, allegedly, he was called away to Paris, and he just left without closing any portals or banishing any demons. He just had better shit to do. Mm-hmm. And then immediately after that happened, the town in Loch Ness suffered a rash of murders, suicides, and rapes, and insanity. People were like running into the woods and nailing themselves to trees and then stabbing themselves. And it was, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't the cause.
I just watched both Hellraiser 1 and Hellraiser 2 just this last week.
Yeah.
And, you know, the puzzle box is revealed in the second movie is actually Leviathan. And if you remember Leviathan, he is the giant sea beast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Come on.
So do you think, like... So you basically what you're saying is there's a possibility that the Loch Ness Monster is just a creature unleashed by Aleister Crowley?
It could be.
Now,
I mean, it's historical fact that everything fucked up happened in that town after his little soiree with Satan.
So was the Loch Ness Monster like a thing before Aleister Crowley?
I don't know.
See, okay, no, I got this. I wrote this down, actually.
I need to know.
There is a report from the 6th century A.D., and I copy and paste this because I wanted to read it, because I wanted to see how far back this legend goes. Now, it kind of it started back in the 6th century, but kind of died out and didn't reemerge until like the 20th century. But this is what it says. The earliest report of a monster in the vicinity of Loch Ness appears in the Light of Saint Columba de Adenon, written in the 6th century A.D. According to I'm going to fuck this up. Adenon, writing about a century after the events described, Irish monk Saint Columba was staying in the land of the Picts with his companions when he encountered local residents burying a man by the River Ness. They explained that the man was swimming in the river when he was attacked by a water beast, which mauled him and dragged him underwater.
Got him.
But yeah.
So maybe they killed this thing eventually, and then Aleister Crowley summoned its spirit.
Basically, it was bones, like that drew up on the ocean, or on the sands, like she was talking about. Mm-hmm. But it was reanimated by the Duke of Hell.
Yeah.
I heard this. I read last week, Japanese scientists placed explosive detonators at the bottom of Loch Ness to blow Nessie out of the water. Sir Court Godfrey of the Nessie Alliance summoned the help of Scotland's local wizards to cast a protective spell over the lake and its local residents and all those who seek for a peaceful existence for our underwater ally.
Thank God.
Well, that's good, right?
Thank you, Napoleon Hill. Or Napoleon Dynamite.
Same difference.
Same difference.
Yeah, I said I attribute the Loch Ness Monster to X-Files, and by saying that I mean I want to believe.
What about all those
But you know, a lot of people chalk it up as wishful thinking because they're like, all right, someone said there's something in there, so then you see like some fucking sludge moving around in the water, like sludge will do,
Right.
and you're like, oh shit, it's a fucking monster!
Oh my God!
Right.
What about
just power of suggestion or whatever?
Exactly.
What about all those accounts of them like using like fake toy boats and like turning them upside down?
Exactly.
And, like, taking pictures.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's all fun and games till you're out there drunk, skinny dipping, and you get some of that 13-inch fucking prehistoric dick.
it was just the government trying to sway our thoughts the other way.
Yeah,
It's fake. It's fake.
Yeah.
Really, it's real.
Don't pay attention to Building 7, Loch Ness.
it's the magical Leopleurodon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so on the kaiju, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some H.P. Lovecraft style portal opened up, and they're just gonna start flowing through. Kind of like if anybody's seen The Mist,
Yeah,
kind of like The
it's a
Mist,
great movie.
kind of things like that.
Was that the one where the dad killed his...
Yes,
that's the best part.
Fucking blew his son's brains out, and
Just
then
in time. For
not
him to-
even like fucking 30 seconds later. Oh shit! The government finally showed up. to do
Everything's
something about
better
it.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. But kind of like that.
Huh.
But yeah, so thanks for the question, Saint Catherine.
Peace be upon her.
Peace be upon her. Next question comes from it's been a couple weeks, but you know, he's still steady and good, and that's Dunstan. You know, like Dunstan from Dunstan Checks In. Yeah. I think since he's at about 3 or 4 topics, right? I think I'm gonna, you know, we always try to amend their names after time. I think Dunstan's gonna be changed to Dunstan Checks In.
Copy.
Because it is him checking in with a topic.
Yeah.
So Dunstan Checks In asked, Alternate universe. Where would society be in 2017 without social media and the internet? And then he added, back in the 90s, I'll take some of that.
Well,
A little bit of his own conjecture, you know?
if you ever read any Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, he kind of speaks of this in a way. He says society is going to the industrial society is going to take grasp so hard that eventually it's going to collapse in on itself. And that eventually,
A man can dream, can he?
over decades, people will forget about the technology and forget how to build it, and then we'll be basically sent back to the Stone Ages.
Well, I mean,
Maybe not quite that far back, but
all I simply said about the matter was, I say we'd still be relying on television and newspapers to garner opinions, and that we wouldn't know where the secret Nazis and SJWs were amongst your neighbors.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to know any of that. You can be speculative, say we didn't have internet, and after this election, you would see a Trump, election thing in somebody's yard.
Like a chain letters. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. And you wouldn't
Hell yeah.
you wouldn't instantly get triggered by seeing someone with a Trump sign in their yard. You would just think, oh, he likes Trump. You wouldn't think, oh, he's a Nazi.
Yeah.
So
White devil.
yeah, I think there'd be less triggering. Definitely.
Probably wouldn't be any of it. You wouldn't have SJ.
I mean, because the thing is, exactly, because the thing is what are you going to, now, I think to some degree they've always existed, but the effort required to be at SJW before the internet took a lot more effort. It wasn't just,
it required you to leave
shit
your
on the
mom's
computer.
basement.
Yeah.
It required you to write a letter to the editor and be and hope that editor doesn't think your letter is a piece of shit and just throw it away and actually puts it in the magazine.
Let's get real. Most SJWs aren't going to do that.
Yeah. I said, they're too lazy to do that.
Yeah.
Or a really expensive land phone bill.
But think about it.
Right.
We wouldn't even
Exactly.
have...
The long distance charges are racist.
Think of all the glorious memes we wouldn't have, though.
I know.
A world without memes?
See, it's like you have access to infinite information with the internet. It's changed so many lives for the better, and then you still at the same time you have that cash me outside. How about that? So it's you got both things.
You get the extreme on both sides.
You do.
You're constantly craving information, but at the same time, it's creating people who are extraordinarily retarded.
Yeah, that slut had a.
Even though they don't even lack the IQ,
Yeah.
they still have an IQ, but they're just so dumb.
They're extraordinary. Like you said, they're extraordinarily retarded.
The Cash Me Outside girl was showing her tits off on a Facebook live feed the other day, and I got on there and spammed bonesandtubs.com and the Facebook page over and over again with a message that said, "Stop making stupid people famous."
So somebody saw that.
I know. Kill yourself.
I hope they're listening to it right now.
I hope they are. I hope they were red pilled. They're looking at her like, I know I shouldn't look at her tits because she's not an adult yet, but I'm just what's this Bones and Tubs thing? And then,
Let me go take a look at them real quick.
I'm gonna go take a shit. I'm gonna read some of their nonsense on the comic strip.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's watching 17 hours of fucking buildings collapsing with jet fuel, and now he's got a master's degree in what the fuckology.
Right?
Yeah.
You changed his life.
Just to throw this out there, how many people do you think you triggered with that Mother's Day video?
I hope somebody. There's only so far it's 10 people that watch it. I've not figured out the new algorithm for tags yet.
I thought it was heartfelt and beautiful.
I felt good about it.
I felt good about it. I shared it because I was like, you know what, this is a great message.
I haven't watched it.
Oh
watched it.
my! Did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I thought it was Bill Nye 90s-esque.
Yeah, before the money.
Yeah, before the money, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so
When you start seeing videos of me talking about Happy Gender Neutral Parent Day, I can't even use the word.
we're actually, you
parent.
know, what's crazy is
The
one
new
of
symbol.
our
What?
The peace sign is the new symbol.
Is it?
Yeah.
one of our topics today concerns Mother's Day and Father's Day, since
Oh,
it just happened. But we'll get to that here in a minute. Let's see. Well, thank you for the question, Dunstan. We hope you enjoyed our answer. Basically, the world will be a little bit more boring, I think.
I enjoyed his picture he posted the other day of him. It looked to be fist fucking bloody meat.
I wouldn't call it boring.
Yeah, what's that?
I don't think it'd be boring.
What, the world?
I think it'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be great. I'm not saying it's boring, but we wouldn't have memes. What would we do without memes?
Well, we got graffiti before. We just have to
Yeah,
start
we have
Okay, that's
graffiti.
true.
You'd
That's
have to
true. You
start,
do have
like,
graffiti.
spray painting Pepe the Frog.
I think the
A
memes.
slower moving.
I think the
form
graffiti
of
would be
memes.
more meaningful.
Yeah.
Probably would. It's somebody's artwork.
Yeah.
Plus, I think people would. Well, I guess people would be able to invest emotion in a more concise way. Does that make sense? Like, it wouldn't just be thrown willy nilly about with outrage constantly. They would actually put some thought into what they were about to say.
Oh no,
Yeah.
They'd have
not thought.
Would they have an easier time or a harder time spreading fake news? Because you'd still have like the reliability of the paper, whatever that was, but you wouldn't have any of those fake ass shootings like the one that happened in Texas last year. I almost called Joy Lane a fake shooting, but I'm pretty sure that was real after further investigation.
Yeah. That dude got capped.
Got him.
Yeah. But,
The one in Texas, there was no blood or shell casings, and the guy was wearing a different shirt in every picture. I don't know.
I don't know. Did you watch the video and like the breakdown of the Joy Lane video?
I did, but I watched the full video. Like, it just, I don't know. I was pretty convinced.
You can't really tell these days.
Yeah.
I just write everything up as fake news these days.
It's all fake. Well, I mean, it's easy for it all to be fake when this is illusion.
yeah.
None of this is real
None of
anyway.
it's
so-
real.
Yeah. But thanks for the question, Dunstan.
Love you.
We do. The next one comes from Aaron the Red.
Hey!
Hey, he's in studio with us. Aaron the Red asked us, if you could visit anywhere in the world without worry of conflict anywhere, where would you go?
I'd like to be a fly on the wall in the worst house of Flint, Michigan. Astral project through the worst streets in Chicago and take a sightseeing tour through North Korea before we bomb the dog shit out of it.
I don't think there'd be that much to see in North Korea. I didn't put them on the list. I was like, what are you want to see some hollow buildings?
I like to think
Some
that
starving
Starving.
motherfuckers.
I looked recently at what there was to sightsee in North Korea.
Yeah.
And they actually have quite a few things on the list. Like some really nice looking things that I figured that they starve all their people to maintain.
I was going to say, are they dictator themed?
God, I hope
No,
so.
they're actually like culturally themed. I was like, I didn't know they had all this stuff. I thought they just tore it all down and sold it all for.
I remember
Missiles.
like last year sometime, some famous, I think he's like an Instagram traveler. Like he actually gets paid to travel and post pictures on Instagram and shit.
Yeah.
Went to North Korea and people slammed him fucking hard because he was all positive and like happy about his trip to North Korea. And they're like, dude, are you fucking serious? Like, yeah, the countryside's so beautiful. You got motherfuckers dying all over the place.
Yeah.
I saw leaked pictures before of some of their million-man army in fucking military garb out, like, picking grass to eat and shit.
Do they believe in religion in North Korea, or do they not?
Their
The
religion
government.
is Kim
government.
Jong-un.
Yeah,
isn't it?
he's the son.
That is
He's
the
he's
religion.
the heir. Isn't he descended from the sun god or something like that?
I think he sent a man to the sun. I know that.
Yeah, that story was awesome.
Yeah, they're days ahead of us.
Sean Doherty checking
Oh,
out
no. What is it? What is it?
checking out Bean Boozled Challenge.
Is it good?
Is it toothpaste? You had a white
No,
one,
it was a
right?
white one, so it had to be either spoiled milk
He's
or.
thumbs
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Spoiled milk.
The other
God
ones
damn it.
are-
Why was it thumbs up all of a
It
sudden?
tasted fine at the beginning, like sweet, and then it.
The spoiled milk one's terrible. It tastes like really bad cheese.
The one that I couldn't get over was the rotten fish.
Oh,
That left
yeah.
the worst taste in my mouth. And the dog food wasn't too bad.
That's gonna stick with me.
Yeah, try a brown one.
Are those all bad?
I have not had one brown one that was chocolate pudding.
Some of those yellow and yellow specked white ones might be buttered popcorn.
Technically, there
Might
might be
be.
good ones in there. We don't
For real,
but
every
one
brown
I got
one
was bad.
Every
so.
brown one I had was dog food, and there has to statistically be a chocolate pudding in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So, for posterity,
When I did it, I
Try
didn't
one.
get too
Is
many
that
bad
what you're
ones.
saying?
yeah, fuck it.
But
There's a bunch of brown ones.
I put 4 countries on this list, and they're all okay. One of them, 2 of them aren't probably that bad in all reality, but they do have questionable governments that I don't feel like I'd be safe if there wasn't any conflict. But I had Syria, Turkey, China, and Iraq. Because, well, Syria, Turkey, and Iraq simply because those are like cradles of civilization.
Right.
Like, I want to see, especially Syria, because they're like blowing the fuck out of all their old ancient temples and shit that people are never going to get to see. They're destroying them.
Yeah.
Inbreeding.
Yeah,
So, like, I'd
Go
love to
there.
go there, and I didn't include Greece on the list because I don't think Greece would that be bad of a place to go now.
Right.
So, I'd want to go to Greece too for that very same reason as Syria and Turkey and Iraq.
Yeah.
But I can go to Greece and not worry about ending up on a nice,
stabbed or
high quality ISIS video.
Yeah.
I want my beheading to be in HD for sure.
Filmed in 4K.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always wanted to go to Iran.
I've seen pictures of Iran. Iran looks
It looks
beautiful.
like a beautiful country.
Until we blow it up.
I like the picture from the 70s before.
Of
Oh, before the
Afghanistan.
Cultural Revolution.
Or
Yeah,
Iran or Afghanistan.
There's
Or
that.
both.
Yeah, there's that picture.
They both like there's photos out there of both of them before they're.
I watched the Rick Steves travels on PBS, and he went to Iran. And it looks like the people are cool.
Yeah.
Like the people are like they dress like we do,
I'm confused by their leadership.
except for they have hijabs.
Don't they have
But they're pretty Western though.
Ahmadinejad, the suit wearer, or they have like a group of mages that they worship? They dress like magicians.
What is the Ayatollah?
Ayatollah, yeah.
Yeah,
What's up
Oh,
with
yeah.
that?
yeah.
It's like imagine if like you had a president, but then you also had a pope, and really one was technically more powerful than the other, and kind of oversaw everything. Like imagine if our Supreme Court was like religious and above the president in all decisions, and that's the kind of government you're kind of getting yourself into in Iran. So I mean, like you said, they look Western. That's because they were one of the last countries to really
They even have a lot of Western values.
they were one of the last countries to shy away from Western culture. Like, so they still have a lot of our some of the things that we kind of injected into them still there.
Well, from what I heard, the people were like totally down with Americans.
They just don't like our government.
It's the government. Yeah.
Well, at
Which
least
is
they
totally
could
understandable.
Which at least they could differentiate between the two.
Yeah.
That's the part I kind of appreciate. Is like if they can appreciate like, okay, so we hate the American government and we hate American I assume corporations
Hey,
kind
so
of
do
get
they.
tied up in with that,
Right.
and but they don't mind the American people.
right.
Then I could dig with that. Now, I bet you there are some people, some Americans,
You know-
they wouldn't like though. I know some of them personally that if they went to Iran, they would fucking hate them.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. But we're talking about as a whole. You know.
Fake news.
But and then Turkey right now is not a good place to go. They're fresh off a coup. I always fuck up his name, but the president is doing some fuck shit right now. And but yeah, and then China, just because I'm not saying China would be a bad place. I know people have gone to China.
China looks cool. The only thing about China that worries me is their
Government.
bathroom facilities.
Oh, that's it.
What's wrong with their fat bathroom facilities?
They don't have like
They don't have
normal
toilets?
man.
Oh, do they have like the hole in the ground?
Yeah.
There's like hardly any. In
And
Oh,
you have to carry your own
no.
toilet paper around with you from what I've read.
Oh
I
no!
don't think they use toilet paper traditionally.
What about like
I don't know.
the air?
Well, yeah,
that's
I mean,
true. That's the air
that's
too.
true too.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
That is kind of a big deal, but I don't want to like shit in a hole and be like, "Where's the toilet paper at?"
And
I have to use my
take your shit
hand.
on.
And,
Maybe that's why they all look so angry all the time. 'Cause they're all walking around with an itchy poop butt.
But no, I there's things in China I'd want to see. You know, like of course you want to go to the Great Wall. Of
course.
you
I
want to
think
see
I'd
it for
want to
yourself.
check out more of the countryside in China than the city life. I think going to the city would be cool, but I think ultimately I'd want to go to the countryside of China.
Go to like a Shaolin temple and see a demonstration.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
I
watch
could
a
dig
monk
that.
burn himself.
Yeah. Self-immolation's hot.
That's only in Taiwan.
Oh, yeah.
Hong Kong would be probably pretty cool because the British own that. Until
Exactly.
the
Yes.
90s,
So they got some
it's
deep
probably-
indoctrinated Western culture
They
in
have
Hong
some
Kong.
fucking casinos
Probably
and gambling
party
and
there,
hookers
yeah.
and
There's probably still white people there too, isn't there?
Probably.
I mean, like a fair amount of white people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey!
They haven't got hate on them. Like, you know, I don't know if anybody read recently, but I guess another place, you know, if there wasn't conflict, I'd go is South Africa. But I heard recently South Africa, you know, just be glad you live in America, all you white people out there, because apparently right now
White people in South Africa.
it's really bad right now. Like apparently, like the president of South Africa has gone full crazy.
the opposite
And
of
talked
the
about
apartheid.
the opposite of apartheid. He's talking about taking any land that's owned by white people and giving it back to black people, and it's getting bad to the point where both sides are like training militias because they think a civil war is going to happen.
That's
it's
why
getting-
all the rich people left.
Yeah, it's getting greasy down there right now.
Yeah.
So shout out to my brethren in South Africa. Stay strong. Stay strong.
And their goofy, not really British accents.
They're
but
they're fucking weird, aren't they?
yeah.
Like, you know, it's like is it District 9, right? Or is
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
that movie
District
always
9.
threw me through a loop
You're like,
because
what?
their accents are fucking goofy as hell,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
It's like it's some weird English/Dutch thing going on where they
Yeah,
sound like
yeah.
they have a speech impediment. They sound like an English person with a speech impediment, more or less. But anybody else have any countries they would like to visit if there was no conflict?
I'd like to check out Egypt. There's
Okay.
not so I don't know what their conflict is currently, but I think it'd be. I wouldn't be comfortable going there right now.
Yeah, see, yeah. It's just there's certain places in the world where...
BRB. LOL.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that it's all just kind of trumped up and it's not really that bad over there? Or do you think in all these places? Or do you think that we would probably have to be on the lookout constantly?
I'm not saying like a lot of countries you could probably go and you would be fine. Like even Iran and stuff like that. Like some woman she bicycled alone across Iran and didn't really have any problems. Right? And I think she wore a hijab the whole time, right?
Okay.
So
I mean, I guess maybe that helped out.
yeah, that probably helped out.
Right.
But I mean, like, in most places, I mean, I think it's less about specific countries. I think more about specific cities that you probably shouldn't venture around in. I mean,
Like
even if
Detroit.
you went to a tourist friendly place like Thailand, I mean, do you really want to like go through areas of Bangkok that aren't well lit and
Right.
tourist friendly?
Yeah.
Even like apparently now in Sweden, you really don't want to go through certain parts of Stockholm at night with just you.
Right.
Because even cops don't go there.
Okay, so what about, let's say, like Mexico City? Because I heard it's pretty rough. Or Tijuana.
I wouldn't go to Tijuana.
I think Tijuana is probably more tourist friendly than Mexico City, though.
Because I've heard stories about motherfuckers like getting straight nabbed off the street.
Oh, I wouldn't be
Where?
surprised.
Which one? Both of them?
Both of them.
Oh, well.
I mean, is it just stories that I'm hearing and it's not really that serious? I mean, what are the odds, really, like, of me going to, like, Tijuana or Mexico City and being nabbed off the street?
Well, don't look rich. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, right.
Pay attention.
That shit's about money. Has nothing to do with like you being you.
So if I just wear...
Well,
So
you
if you dress like you,
If I dress
then
like
you'll be
me.
fine.
yeah. In fact, I'd look a little bit more poor if I were you.
a holy cut-off t-shirt and a
Yeah,
pair of
yeah,
mesh
yeah.
shorts.
Exactly.
Some
Barefoot.
sandals that are falling apart.
Yeah, sandals that are falling
Like a
apart.
merry-go
You know,
creaking.
Some
yeah,
duct
you should
tape.
be all right with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like in all reality, there's probably you probably go about anywhere in the world. It's just certain places you probably don't want to hang out in. I mean, you can't go to like places where ISIS is occupying. You would lose your head. I mean,
Right.
literally lose your head.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Aqua.
but yeah, I mean, most places in the world you could probably go. But anybody else on this question, on this topic, I should say? Bones is back. Back
I
again.
had to get more ass paper for my face.
Oh, okay.
Back again.
But okay, let's
Bones
move
is
on
back.
to the next topic. Next topic comes from Elmo. Elmo asked, alternatives to Mother's and Father's Day. Because a family consisting of a mother and a father is kind of a thing of the past. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and blow this one up.
Yeah, go ahead and destroy this one for me real
Seeing
quick.
as there are only two genders, I don't really even understand the question.
Actually, it's funny. I said the exact same thing.
The whole question, did we?
Women in the kitchen,
Oh, wait.
men in
There's
the
a lot more to it.
Oh, okay, yeah, there is. So
we
sorry.
understand what he's
I messed it up. I thought maybe this was my notes. Does whichever of the same gendered parents that identify as a mother get to celebrate Mother's Day? Okay,
Right.
now you can continue.
I'm going to say that seeing as there are only two genders, I don't really understand the question. Women in the kitchen, men relaxing in house shoes in a bathrobe, smoking a pipe in his study. Mother and father.
Okay.
Eat a dick.
Well, I started my notes saying there are only two genders.
Got him.
Okay.
I can feel his heart swelling with pride right now.
Yeah. But here's the thing. But I added, okay, I said that, but then I'm going to add I would say a lightly liberal note to this one. I said celebrate the holiday you connect with the most as a parent. Right?
Right.
So, okay, if you're two mothers raising children, which I have no problem with, if you don't identify, like, if you don't identify as being the mother in the relationship, don't celebrate Mother's Day. Celebrate Father's Day. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Do whatever you want. You
It
think
is
really,
what it
like,
is.
if I'm at the park with my boy on Father's Day and I see, like, a mother fishing with his son, you think I'm going to be like, ooh.
Son of a bitch.
I didn't know they had ponds and kitchens, boy.
Yeah.
All lulls aside, though, I mean,
I
you
didn't
can
know
do
they
it.
allowed broccoli bumpers at this pond.
All laws aside, though, I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's a fucking free country. You just can't dictate that I call you Zim or Zer.
Yeah.
You know? Do whatever the fuck you want in your own crazy reality.
Eventually, they're going to get rid of Mother's Day and Father's Day
that's-
because it triggers so many
Yeah.
people.
But that's fucking bullshit, though, man.
They've had a plan to break up the family since they instituted the welfare state.
It's worked with some of the
Like,
cultures.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I hate to. I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse on this one, but Mother's Day is legit. They gave birth to you.
Right.
You couldn't be here without an actual biological mother to have to pushed you out,
Unless you're a clone.
unless you're a clone.
Or
Which
you're conceived in
But
one
you
of those,
still have a mother because there's still
artificial wombs.
that's true, but that's not a reality yet.
Not yet.
But here's the thing, though. Even when that starts happening, it's not going to be the majority of people. The majority of people are still going to be born from a natural like womb.
You're
from
triggering
a
me right
woman's
now.
from a woman's uterus. But I mean,
I don't want to kick in the side of a dead pig here, but I'm just going to say,
Yeah,
you know,
like for the most part, that's what happens. And when it comes to Father's Day, I think I'm more of a person where Father's Day came about simply because, well, there was a Mother's Day. So someone had along the lines like, where the fuck is Father's Day at?
yeah.
Like, here's the thing. I've been a father for 5 years now. And in reality, I've never really done anything special on Father's Day. It was just another day to me. I think a couple times I went fishing. But other than that, I might cook some food that I like, and that's about it.
What about Zer Day?
Zer Day?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't celebrate Zer Day because I'm not a Zer.
Made up pronoun day.
Yeah.
That should be a day made up pronoun day.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Psychic
I mean,
Vaseline for
I'm
your
surprised
fucking
It's
sore
be all
butthole.
inclusive.
I'm surprised Hallmark hasn't gotten on this shit yet for
Hallmark.
real, because it'd just be more money for them.
I think Hallmark's pretty religious, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever seen the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
They're also
Yeah.
about that money.
Wait.
True.
So what if we created a greeting card company and started celebrating these holidays?
Right.
Genius.
I want to make all that liberal money.
Yes.
I want to make all their money.
Happy Poop Pounder Day.
Yeah,
Liberal money to fund your conservative podcast.
exactly.
Well, I mean, it's kind of it's kind of an asexual podcast when it comes down to political ideology.
I like to think. I don't say asexual. I think pansexual.
Pansexual.
We
yeah.
fuck anything.
Right. We're Miley Cyrusin.
Yeah.
I'm whipping my tongue out while you twerk on some tall brown guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we do things around here. But yeah. Thanks for the question, Elmo. I mean, I don't think there was much argument amongst us when it came to this.
All of us cisgendered white men agree. You know?
There should be a Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Yeah. I don't understand the problem you came out of a vagina, boy.
But yeah. Well, then I saw something from not to go any more on this topic, but I did want to say
Don't
this.
go on about it. I'm going to go on about it.
I'm gonna go on for a second. Okay, so the other day I saw a person that I think you're friends with him too on Facebook, and
It's possible.
Dr. Doug, and he said to all those people out there, you don't have to thank your mothers on Mother's Day if they were pieces of shit your entire life.
Ooh.
Shots fired.
So, and to an extent, I agree with that.
I mean,
Here's the thing: at
I'm
the end
not
of the day, they
mad
may
at
have given birth to you, but it's more than giving birth to be a mother and a father, for that matter.
Thanks for not swallowing me, whore.
Yeah.
Is that could be our Christmas card. Our Bones and Tubs
Yeah.
Mother's Day card.
But,
Unappreciated section.
Yeah. But you know,
Thanks for not doing butt stuff on my birthday. 9 months before my
Right.
birthday.
But yeah. So I mean, it requires more, and I think Mother's Day is honoring those people who are legitimately mothers in more than one way. So
Thanks for not dying of an overdose on heroin while I was in your womb.
yeah.
I'm firing off
I was
gift
gonna
cards,
say, yeah,
man.
you're firing off over here. I was trying to get tender for a moment and,
Sorry.
and be soft about it.
I was miles away, dude.
Yeah, you were way away.
Sorry about that.
But it's all good.
We're back.
No, we're back, and we're gonna go to the next topic. Okay, next one comes from St. Catherine, of course, Our Lady. The candle's lit. You know these, is it?
Oh my
Yes,
God.
it's
oh
lit.
my
Oh
God,
my
it's
God.
not lit.
Where's
No.
the flame?
No, it's in there. It's
Apparently-
just really low.
Apparently we said something
No,
to
it's
upset-
actually a burning ember inside.
Oh,
I think it put
God.
itself out with the wax.
Oh, here we go.
We'll have
We
to
got
ask
this.
her whatever we said that made her upset.
Okay,
And we're back.
Something happened.
it probably had
It was
something to do with
probably
that last
trademarks.
question. I would wager it had something to do with the last question. Is it out now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! Here, let me get this wax out here.
I meant to bring my grill
Yeah.
lighter.
There you go.
Oh yeah, pour that hot wax.
Yes, I'm lighting it again.
It's not a crack pipe.
Yeah. Oh. Hit the arm.
You're not listening to us do drugs.
But
yet.
okay, so she asked us and this kind of goes with her nautical theme for this episode.
Yes.
She asked, "What about Atlantis? Do you believe it's real?"
I do.
Yeah,
It's
I
either-
think we talked about on 2 episodes ago, Göbekli Tepe. I think that kind of stuff kind of falls with Atlantis when it comes to
Yeah.
there being some sort of ancient civilization that was, far ahead from everybody else.
Haven't they found like massive amounts of underwater statues and pyramids and stuff?
Yeah.
I said it was either submerged or beyond the ice wall.
Yeah.
Beyond the ice wall.
Beyond the ice wall.
Like maybe the ice
I
wall's
think,
growing and it grew over top of it.
Right. Frozen city.
Frozen in time.
Global warming's fake.
You guys ever seen Stargate Atlantis?
I have.
I would like to think that Atlantis was really a spaceship, and
It just left.
yeah,
See, I never really watched. I watched the first series, Stargate.
yeah.
I never watched Atlantis. So
It's they sort of Atlantis started before the first series ended, so there was some overlap there. Then they ended the original series.
okay.
Nice.
I see.
That
But
works.
yes.
It's plausible theory.
I think Atlantis did in fact exist. I mean, there's legitimate people who said that it existed and said that it was destroyed. Was it Plato or was it Aristotle? It was one of the two Greeks who said that they claimed Atlantis was real.
I think it was Plato.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Would Plato have lied about the shit for real?
Well, they were all like second, third, however many hand accounts you
Okay,
get
that's
to. It wasn't him like that. It was,
that saw it, but
Right,
he had
it was
known.
like-
he had heard of a place
He
like
heard
that.
of a guy.
telltale.
Yeah,
We heard from a guy.
I have a
Right,
hard time
exactly.
trusting boy lovers. Yeah.
those interested in the arts of pedestry.
We must teach the boys everything.
Everything. Come here, boy.
Yeah. You can't unsuck a dick. Just
I've
remember
taught, I've taught, I've taught you mathematics all day, and astronomy. Now it's just time to teach you other things.
Let us divide your clothes.
We have.
Multiply the size of my member.
I have taught.
And
I've
add it
taught,
to your butthole.
I have taught you speechcraft
Yeah.
and the arts of mining. Now it is time to teach you the sex craft.
When he finishes, he says, let's subtract that from your memory.
Yeah, we must teach you lovecraft.
Tell it to no one.
Yes, but yeah, I totally dig Atlantis. I think it was real.
For sure.
I mean, there was enough evidence of it to be real.
They
Yeah,
probably realized that the moon was a giant fucking hornet's nest, and that's when they flew off in their spaceship and said, fuck this.
Yeah,
This life isn't for us.
No,
Yeah.
we're going somewhere else.
there are other worlds than this.
Yeah.
But
Jake Chambers.
yeah,
Come on.
Tubbs when he's dying.
Right. Bones, too. As I fall into that crevasse
Yeah.
blackness.
Yeah, my quartet is way strong.
For sure.
But yeah, thanks for the question, St. Catherine of College Corner. We appreciate it.
Since we've only got one topic left, can I use this as a quick segue?
Sure.
Since we've got Dr. Doug Herty here.
Okay.
Are you excited for this possible piece of shit Dark Tower movie? Or do you think it's going to be good?
I think it's going to be garbage.
Looks like garbage money.
I know.
As in, you would waste your money on it.
I see all these people excited about it on social
I do
media,
too.
and I'm like, what the fuck are you excited about?
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a roll of garbage bags, and I'm going to write the Dark Tower on it.
I don't even think it's even going to be anything close to what it really is.
It doesn't fucking look like it.
First off, I don't mind the fact that Roland's a black dude.
Now,
Doesn't
no, I don't
bother
have a
me.
problem
No.
with. At this point, like, okay, here's the thing. At first,
It's fine.
I did because you're losing nuance when it came to certain dynamics with the characters, right?
Right.
Right.
But
of
then
course.
I got over that. But then when I started hearing what this shit's about, I was like, no.
What really irks me is the way they introduced Roland in the trailer.
Yeah.
You know, and Jake's talking to him, and he's like,
We
Hold
talked
on.
about this, didn't we?
He said something about-
He said something, aren't you a gunslinger or something like that? And then
Roland says there are no gunslingers.
which is fucking horseshit.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you right now,
Yeah.
the Roland I know would
Roland.
never say there is no gunslingers.
Right,
He
and
would
then there's
never
another
fucking
clip-
say that.
There's another clip where Jake's trying to talk him into trying to continue to seek the Dark Tower,
Which is fucking
which
horseshit
is another
too.
Yeah.
horseshit line because Roland has never fucking stopped seeking the Dark
Roland
Tower.
would never give up.
Look
on
how
that.
many of his fucking friends died,
Right.
and he never fucking stopped. Why would he stop? Because some
Spoiler.
fucking spoiled little brat from fucking New York.
Spoiler
So-
alert, he fell in love with Jake as a son and let him die for the tower.
Right.
Eat a dick.
Yeah. But there's actually two topics left.
They ruined it
Oh.
for me.
Yes. We have another one from Aaron the Red.
Oh.
He said, what could the perpetrators of the recent massive ransomware attack want to use all that money for?
That's right.
I don't know anything about
Okay,
this.
this is what I
This is
said.
recent news.
It was called the WannaCry ransomware attack, right?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
That was like 2 days ago.
So,
wasn't
but it didn't really
Friday.
hit-
last
it-
week. Yeah.
You probably didn't hear about it because it didn't really hit the U.S. all that much. This was mostly
Because we
centered
all
in
update our
Asia-
Windows.
Asia and Europe. Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, by the way, update your Windows and it won't be a fucking problem.
Right.
They said that's the reason the U.S. really wasn't hit, because for whatever reason we're on top of updating our shit.
They've got an automatic button.
Thanks,
you can click
Internet.
it. Yeah.
But
Fuck you, Canada.
so I came up with a few things I thought maybe they basically what happened was you get infected with the virus and they would force you to pay the equivalent of $300 worth of Bitcoin, which in reality isn't even a single Bitcoin.
Or it goes
Not
up
anymore.
after a certain time period.
Oh yeah, it's like a 10th or something.
Yeah.
It's
It continues
So
to go up the longer you wait, though.
So to get
True.
your computer turned back on, and apparently
Yeah,
it hit
50
like
cents.
government organizations, like it hit the NHS in England,
Right.
like
yeah.
really hard. Like,
I mean,
and that's
really,
the National Health
the
Service.
NHS
So,
didn't update their fucking Windows.
I always
Yeah.
thought that the government was
Muslim
like super
Inbreeding.
efficient with things.
yeah, right.
Oh wait,
Always on
No.
top of
Oh.
shit, right?
Fuck.
But
Right.
okay, so I
Mandela effect. I'm
I
from
tried to
somewhere
think
else.
of I tried to think of things that they'd want to buy with that money. So I said first they wanted some sweet new neckbeard scents.
I'll bet, yeah.
Yeah, they need them neckbeard scents.
For sure.
But I said they wanted to buy 3D printers to make big gulps made of Doritos, and then fill those big gulp Dorito cups with big red code red.
Yeah.
Nice.
And finally, they want to move out of that stupid bitch of a mom's basement. Wait, okay, hold on. I got a couple more. Okay, you ready? They finally get that sweet bitchin' tattoo of Daenerys Targaryen riding Drogon on my thigh. And then I was talking to Tobeans about it, and she added one too. And at first, I didn't know what she was talking about, so I had to look it up. And she said, "Try to get Club Penguin from shutting down."
Shutting down.
Did you
really?
watch?
Yeah.
Did you watch the PewDiePie video about that?
I didn't get to watch that.
You gotta.
But
It's
I wasn't
legit.
Is it about Club Penguin? Shutting
Yeah.
down? Wow.
I wasn't hip to Club Penguin until last night.
Oh my god.
I didn't know about Club Penguin.
What did you do with your early adolescence?
I think it was more of a girl thing.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I don't know about it either.
Sucker.
I found that they used this ransomware attack as a new story on the Daily Mail as what my brain rewired and wrote as North Korean war propaganda.
Ooh.
They blamed it on Kim Jong-un, and they had a picture of him wearing a pinstripe suit with fat little hands.
Kim Jong Un really?
Well, they claim in this propaganda war piece that it was supposedly done by a hacker group with ties to North Korea. So that's
So China, basically.
right.
So they tell us that North Korea is broke and poor and has no technology, but then on the other hand, they tell us that North Korea has all these smart people that can hack all this shit.
Well, they've got money for like millions of dollars in liquor. That's one of the things I said that he was going to use the Bitcoin
perfect.
for. He was
Oh,
going to
there you
spend
go.
it on his because he's going back and forth. Before Trump, he was a French wine guy, right?
Okay.
And then after Trump, he is a fucking heavy vodka guy,
Okay.
Wow.
Russian vodka. So
Nice.
there is that. I put he's either using it to fund his weight gain to help his fat ass get a little bit bigger,
He should drink more beer then.
or
Yeah, that's true.
it went to a teenager in Canada, like the one that caused the power outage in 2004. And basically it went to fund Kekistan.
Nice. But thanks for the question, Aaron.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I also, just to bring up another point about that, I recently saw that they're actually holding Disney's new Pirates of the Caribbean movie ransom.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
shit.
Oh my god.
Well, they did that with a couple Netflix
Pirates of the
shows too,
Caribbean,
didn't they?
67.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They released the next
Can't wait
season
to
of
see
Orange
it.
is the New Black already, or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, they said, give us this money, or we're going to release the season like 9 months early.
Well, they would have had to have hacked it and got it like that. What was that movie about North Korea that Sony had that they took?
Oh God, what was
I
that
forget what
called?
it was called.
It was kind of stupid.
That's a little different. The ransomware, it just encrypts it,
Oh,
so
okay.
you can't get at the data.
Oh, okay.
Let me get at that.
Yeah.
Let me get in there.
Yeah.
But the last topic of the day comes from a new topic cure.
Forgot about this one.
Um,
From the Woodsman.
the Woodsman.
Yes.
He is the Woodsman. Does it mean he lives in the woods, or does he mean he's a master of the wood?
He is a master of wood.
Mm-hmm.
The,
He knows how to make it smooth and
oh,
hard.
yeah. You can
But
check-
he just wanted us to talk about cranking.
I did my due diligence.
See, I didn't know what cranking was until 2 days ago.
Yeah. It was just like ASMR. I started watching for purely academic research, and by the end of it,
You were hooked, right?
I was covered in ectoplasm.
From
a ghost
See,
attack.
I didn't get anything from it. I was sitting there watching it. I was like, So this is what it is.
Is this the same cranking that I found on Urban Dictionary?
I believe it is.
The act of crying and wanking at the same time.
No, wait, no.
That's
fantastic.
that's not.
But I've never heard
I
that
need to
one.
know
I
about
thought that's
that,
what you
though.
were talking
Okay,
about.
so wait, let me clarify to make sure we're all thinking about the same thing here, because I looked up cranking, and it was women starting cars and having footage of them pushing their feet on the gas pedals.
All right.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and that's what I found.
What?
That's the one the Woodsman was talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we know what the Woodsman is talking about. Okay. So the fetish is men like to watch women start cars
Okay, there's a Wikipedia page on it.
and
What? Oh, fetish.
And-
okay.
make sure you watch them put their feet on the brakes and the gas pedal and maybe even a clutch.
At the same
Preferably
time.
the clutch, because the one I watched, though she was completely dressed,
Right.
was very suggestive.
Yes.
Because she was wearing a very tight outfit. She was wearing high heels. And it was a standard. So she's like sitting there moving the gear
You know,
shifter.
it was
Mind you, the car's not even moving, but for some
Extra
reason
hard.
she keeps like punching the gear, the shifter up.
Grinding those gears.
is
And
real?
pushing that clutch down like she meant
Oh, it's
business.
real.
Is this something I could watch on YouTube?
It's on X and XX.
Yeah, you can watch it on X and XX, YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. I watched one on YouTube. It wasn't as good as the one on X and XX. The one on X and XX.
Is there
I mean,
nudity?
if I was into this, it would probably be the more quality video than the one on YouTube.
The Woodsman told me that when he came down out of a tree and was on Daily Mail, he saw a story where a guy had got arrested for messing with somebody else's car, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He I might have got this wrong, but this is what my brain said. He unplugged some of her spark plugs or did something funny with them and then beat off in the corner as he watched the car try to start.
Stalling is part of it. They like watching the car stall out.
Is this like a foot fetish?
Like, so they'll like try to like
Something to
turn
do
the
with-
key and push
They're
on the
turned
gas
on
at the
by
same time.
by engine problems, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
engine problems and feet at the same
Supposedly,
So they
time?
like women that can't operate vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Patriarchy, basically.
Let me get daddy to help you.
yeah.
Speaking of patriarchy, I saw a funny article about that. Did you know? Did you hear that they opened a sex? I guess you call it a whorehouse in Spain that only had sex dolls, right?
No.
Okay, so they opened this. Apparently, it's a big thing in Asia, but the
Yeah,
first
of
one
course.
opened up in Spain, and it's a lot cheaper than a regular whorehouse and stuff like that, right? And
Lots of
all the regular whorehouses ran this sex doll whorehouse out of town.
Yeah.
Because it was making so much money and they were losing so much money because of it. And the person who wrote the article tried to say that like this is just the patriarchy being scared of independent women.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I think it's the start of Westworld.
yeah. There's no talk back, and there's no overhead
Yeah,
Right.
other
Exactly.
than cleaning them out.
I mean, what's the worst that happens? Like
Yeah.
Like
Sounds
you
like
know,
a dirty
like
job.
say you work
I
at a
wanna see
whorehouse
Mike
and some
Rowe.
guy
Yeah.
goes some guy goes crazy and beats the shit out of one of your ladies.
Right.
Well, then she's out of commission, right?
And
Right.
just charge him for
But the thing
damaged
is,
property.
yeah, and that's the thing. If you have a fake one, what's the word? Oh, now you got to pay like an extra.
I wonder if you have to sign an agreement that you will pay for all damages done.
Yeah.
You probably
There's a
do.
waivers.
There has to be a waiver.
Yeah.
I want to see Mike Rowe get in there elbow deep and clean it out as he's making jokes and getting fluids
But-
on his shirt.
You know, when it comes to cranking, I came to the conclusion I don't think it's as bad as one thing we talked about before, and that's the alt fur.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Metal
Oh,
Danning.
yeah, the alt fur.
What's that?
Metal Danning too. That's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
I don't think it's bad as the alt fur, but I also think it's lame because they're not. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm a man who likes certain tastes when it comes to my viewing options, and none of the videos I saw on cranking involved women who were nude.
Yeah.
They were all fully clothed.
I was, like I said, purely academic until I got to a video with a car that had white wall tires, and it was over.
I gotta check this shit out.
I hope the Woodsman listens, and he also checks out Dr. Doug Herty's version of cranking, where you cry and wank at the same time. Because that shit sounds hella lit.
As I say, it sounds lit to me. I don't even know. This is really-
Apparently, there's also another definition of it, which is apparently this is from Australia, which is not surprising.
But of course,
rolling up to cars between like 12 and 5 a.m. and seeing if they're locked, and if they're not locked, just robbing them.
there it is.
cranking, mate.
Yeah.
We're going cranking this morning.
I like to think at least one guy beats off like the guy that watches in the car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He has to.
But yeah, so that question was I mean, yeah, keep them coming.
If the Woodsman wants, we can look into Metal Danning also. He's at his current post in the Factory of Sadness, he has a lot of time to look up sexual proclivities.
Yeah.
Because
Yes, he does.
He always calls me over and he's like, "You ever heard of metal tanning?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, what is it?" And then he tells me.
Metal tanning.
We'll talk about it once the microphone's off. It's not a topic yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should Google it. It's Urban Dictionary, metal tanning.
I bet. Just like cranking.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
expect what the fuck?
But, alright, so I think that wraps it up for this episode of Bones and Tubs. We'd like to thank you all for listening. I'd like to thank Dr. Doug Herty and Aaron the Red for coming on the show this week and joining in our fun here on the show.
How did it feel?
It felt pretty good.
Yeah, that's nice. Being on
I
Was
always
it
enjoy my time
uncomfortable the first podcast you've ever done naked?
here.
Yeah.
No clothes
He got
allowed.
used to it. I got used to it.
We have requirements here.
It's
Standards
I
to live
found
by.
it rather pleasant. Actually.
Yeah.
it's not freeing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, yeah, thank you guys for listening. Check out our Facebook page. Check out our website, www.bonesandtubs.com. We are on Patreon. Check that out if you're feeling froggy and want to make us feel the love in that special kind of way.
You're feeling froggy and leap.
Yeah. We're on iTunes, Beyond Pod, and Stitcher. We're also on YouTube. Check us out on all those. New LL goes up every week. Take a look at that. This week's episode should be pretty good.
It's getting pretty intense.
Yeah, I saw a rough draft of it. It's not done yet, but I did see a rough draft, and it looks like it's going to be good.
I'm so pumped.
But yeah, so check us out. We'd like to thank Ryan Simpson for letting us use his music on our show.
I want to touch your face.
Wherever
Yeah.
you are
And
out there in the world.
we'd like to thank you guys for listening. And we hope you join us next time. Send us those topics if you have any. And we'll see you next time.
There are only two genders.
We love you.
We really do.
I think I've gone crazy 'cause the world is getting dim. I fell in love with a girl, but she says we're just friends. I thought I was a boy, it turns out I'm a man. Gonna get me a canoe, gonna row to Japan. Vietnam's over, we're doing fine. I think I've gone crazy 'cause I don't give a shit whether I crawl or whether I sit, but I'm still rowing, gonna make it someday. Gonna be free, gonna be okay. Vietnam's over, we're doing fine. Vietnam's over, we're doing fine. The newspaper says everything's alright. Vietnam's over, we're doing fine. I think I've gone crazy 'cause it won't stop raining. I've begun to think lately it's 'cause I won't stop complaining. I am a voodoo doll and the world is the pin. I've got a third eye growing out of my chin. I think I've gone crazy 'cause I'm fucking confused. Today I woke up hanging from the same